Hello and welcome to the Ninjababes podcast. Here I am with Taylor Amann. It's nice to meet you and great to see you in person. I feel like I don't get to meet as many people during quarantine, so this is exciting.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so welcome to the podcast. And Taylor, I'm going to just introduce her and kind of brag on her a little bit before we get started in our questions. Taylor's been on the ninja scene for a little while. You may probably remember her from A&W season 11, making it all the way through onto the Vegas National Finals. She had an amazing run on stage one, seriously the double dipper. I did it in testing and always would slip on the second bar on the second dipper. So I was super impressed with your run. It looked awesome.
Oh, thank
And
you.
then yeah, and then competing on season 12 this past season. And then before that, you were on involved with the college team during College Madness for Ninja Warrior. So that's pretty cool. I actually didn't realize that you were involved with that until I started Googling your name everywhere. And then I was like, hey, wait a sec. It's pretty cool. And then even before that, in college, you were an indoor and outdoor vaulter for the University of Wisconsin, and you were pretty incredible. I saw here that you were a three-time Big Ten champion. So awesome. And you even held a school record for indoor pole vaulting. So that's pretty cool. So
Thank
I
you so
loved
much.
watching, yeah, I loved watching some of your pole vaulting videos because I feel like so many amazing ninjas have had that background in pole vaulting. So that's
Yeah,
really
it kind of
cool.
it kind of seems like a lot of ninjas their journey begins with gymnastics, and it's kind of
Mhm.
cool seeing that some gymnasts ended up pole vaulting, and then from pole vaulting they became ninjas. So it's kind of cool to see others like myself.
Totally. Yep, it's really cool. And there's this is so creepy, right? Because I'm stalking you, but there's this one picture that was so cool because when you're pole vaulting, you're kind of flipping upside down, doing this crazy thing. But there's one picture that they caught you literally upside down as you were pushing the pole. And
Oh
I
yeah.
just thought it was so cool.
Yeah, it's a cool picture.
So tell us more about who are you, where are you from, and how did you even find Ninja Warrior?
Yeah, so I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a small suburb outside of Milwaukee called Heartland, Wisconsin. So my journey began in gymnastics. I started when I was 4 or 5 years old. I was in competitive gymnastics up until high school, where I joined high school gymnastics so I could do high school track as well. Um, and I've been hearing people talking about pole vaulting. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna try pole vault," and I'm like, "I don't know what that is. Never heard of it. Never seen it." But I tried it because I had friends that were trying it, and my sister also tried it. And it just kind of clicked right away. Like I was kind of beating the girls that have been doing it for years already on like my third day trying it.
Mhm.
So I knew I was kind of a natural at it, so I stuck with it. Ended up going to college for it, and then that's kind of where my ninja career took off too. Two guys from UW-Madison reached out to me. They were applying for Team Ninja Warrior College Madness at the time, and they needed a girl on their team. And they came across my name somehow and asked if I wanted to be part of their team. So I honestly never really watched Ninja Warrior
Yeah.
before. Like I've heard about it, I knew about it, but I just never really watched it. So I kind of told him that exactly, and I said, "I'll try it, like, why not?" And we ended up competing and winning the entire competition, which was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's cool too to have somebody randomly invite you and you're like, "Yeah, it sounds awesome." And then, "Hey, I'm so good, I'm good at this and this is a lot of fun." So,
Right, yeah. Yeah, it's good to be spontaneous and take on new challenges.
absolutely. I feel like a lot of people come into that ninja that way because I mean, unless you're a huge fan and you watch the show all the time, a lot of us it's like we get invited somehow or we're like, "That's cool, but I don't know if I could ever do that." And
Right.
then you just kind of get thrown into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I know that you also have a business in photography and a passion for photography. Is that what you're doing now as a profession or what's kind of on your radar right now?
So right now I work full time for Northwestern Mutual. I'm kind of in like marketing and planning, that division. But I have a lot of different side hustles on the side, one including photography. So I do couples photography, weddings, families, graduation, kind of whatever people are looking for. But I just started doing weddings this past summer. I had two weddings. and then I have 3 booked for next year, so it's
Awesome.
exciting. It's definitely a lot of pressure doing weddings though, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's something I can keep practicing and working for, and I don't know, it's cool. I definitely have an eye for it. I've known I had an eye for it for a while now, and it's just kinda fun to try new things.
No, definitely. That's awesome. I love it. What else do you do any other sports that kind of like help you with your ninja, or was it just kind of like full-time ninja at this point?
Yeah, at this point, it's pretty much full-time ninja, but I'm also still doing a lot of the workouts I did with pole vaulting for pole
Okay.
vaulting, I should say. Not pole vaulting though, but doing the same lifts and doing swing ups like I did for pole vault and rope drills and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's really cool. What gym do you train out of in Wisconsin, right? You're in Milwaukee?
Yep, Milwaukee area. I train at Legendary Fitness, Midwest Twisters, and Warrior Jungle in Green Bay.
Sweet. Nice. So I know you had some experience with ninja during college, but then coming into season 11, how did it feel that rookie year on the show?
It was awesome. So actually, the producer of Ninja called me the year I graduated. So I had just graduated, and he called me about season 11, and I really wasn't thinking about even doing it again after College Madness, even though I did so well. I hadn't thought about it yet.
Mhm.
And he called me basically wanting me on the show. So I went on kind of not knowing what to expect, even though I've been on a
Yeah.
similar thing before. Like Team Ninja Warrior College Madness was pretty different, I'd say, a different experience overall, but, um, I kinda came in without training for it. Like, I
Okay.
I I think I had, like, a month to prepare for season 11, so I wasn't really getting on ninja obstacles much. I was just kind of maintaining my pole vault training, essentially. But I showed up to season 11, Oklahoma City, kind of crushed it,
Yeah.
made it to
I'll
city
say.
finals, and
Yeah.
then the same night made it to or sorry, the next night made it to the Las Vegas national finals. So I just completely took myself by surprise. I mean, the nerve level standing on the start line is just crazy. Like, it's nothing like I had with pole vaulting. Like, it's just completely different. Like, I don't even know how to explain it or describe it. Like, it's almost like you kinda just black out in the beginning and don't really remember what you're doing, but, um, yeah, I remember not being able to, like, hear or see anyone. I was just so focused on each obstacle and, yeah, did really well, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Best rookie season I could, hope for, really.
Yeah, totally. No, that was incredible, and I love seeing new faces come onto the show, but it's also just really, like, crazy when you see someone who's new, but then they do so well, and not that it's, like, rookie luck, I don't believe in that, but it's just, like, so cool to see new people come on and just crush it and then bring
Right.
something new to the community.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
yeah. So if you can remember back to that weekend when you were competing, how did it feel going from qualifiers into city finals? Did it Clearly, it didn't seem to, like, get in your head at all. You seemed still, like, very focused and not, like, you said you were surprised that you made it on, but it wasn't like, "Oh, no, now I feel pressure." Like, you seemed to still do well the next day.
Yeah, I think because going into city qualifiers, I wasn't expecting much of myself. Like I knew I wanted to do as best as I could and it was kind of like a new thing, so I just wanted to put myself out there, try my best. And making it to city finals like was definitely surprising and I kind of just saw city finals as another opportunity to get out there and do my best and without
Mhm.
any expectations of myself. But then making it as far as I did, I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, maybe, like, I could actually do this. Maybe this is something I should be getting into." Um, so yeah, it was super
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So then again, like, kinda the same question going into Vegas finals. Did it feel different once you're in Vegas and, like, all these other ninjas from, like, different cities and regions were there, or how did it feel?
Yeah, in Vegas, it was definitely more intimidating because I knew all these female names. Like, I knew all these ninjas. I've heard of them before, I've just never met them before,
Yeah,
and I knew they were good, and I don't know, the competitive person in me came out because I obviously wanted to do super well when I got
yeah,
there and showed up and saw all those girls. So, um, Definitely, I was more nervous for Vegas than I was for qualifiers and city finals.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I don't
Yeah. Was there, a particular obstacle that kinda you felt was more intimidating than another? I know you have, like, a track and pole vaulting background, so I would imagine, like, those first archer steps, you probably had a plan, but it wasn't, like, scary, you know? How did it
y
feel?
Yeah, actually, the first obstacle, those steps, was
Yeah.
the scariest part for me. I just remember we got to practice it once,
Mhm.
um, and I just remember just freaking out. Like, I was so nervous about those because they just seemed more technical than anything else on the
Yeah.
course. Like, just like your foot placement was just had to be so particular. So yeah, I was very nervous for those. But then once I did them, it was kinda like, why was I nervous for that? Like, I could have been focusing on something else because that
Yeah.
was not that hard of an obstacle, I think.
Yeah. I think it's kinda nice that I was there for in Vegas for testing that year, and I think it's
Oh,
kinda
okay.
nice that they allowed the women to or really everyone, it wasn't just the ladies, right? It was
Yep,
everybody.
yep, everyone got to try it.
Yeah, they allowed everyone to try it because I think it can, like, intimidate you, and if you have, like, too much stage fright going on and you just mess up on the first obstacle, like, if you remember, I don't know if you watched the year before, there were quite a few people who, like,
Mhm.
biffed it on the first obstacle, and they're
Right.
great ninjas, like, if you made it to Vegas, you're definitely capable of doing it, so
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah,
good
you
that
wanna know that you can make it past the first obstacle. It's it's nice to be
yeah,
able to practice it and feel more
totally,
confident going in.
yeah. What obstacle did you end up falling on in Vegas?
In Vegas, I fell on the spider wall,
Okay,
which is so embarrassing. I feel like that's the one obstacle that I wasn't worried about.
okay.
Because I'm like, "Okay, trampoline, I was a gymnast, like, spider wall, like, I'm tall, like, I have long limbs, like, I can definitely do that." Like, the one obstacle I wasn't preparing for in my head. And
Mhm,
I think what happened is that I was kind of flying through the course. I was going at a really good pace, and I felt really confident, and I think I was just going too fast into the trampoline where I kinda missed it. Um I kinda missed the trampoline. I ended up stepping on the end of it.
mhm,
So, I didn't really get a good bounce, and I kinda just went right into the water. And then I was
okay,
in the water, and I'm like, "How did I get here? What happened?"
yeah.
I don't remember anything. So, yeah, kinda disappointing, but still very proud of myself for how far I made it for my rookie season.
Absolutely. No, you had a great run and it sucks, but like those are the moments that you look back and you're like, okay, well, maybe I should really plan for every kind of scenario no matter what.
Right.
Um, yeah, we've all been there when we're like kicking ourselves like what has
Ugh,
happened? Because it's like the moment you hit the water, it's like reality sets
I
in.
know. Yeah, you get one shot at it and hit the water, and you're just like, "What is going on?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then how did you prepare differently for season 12?
So for season 12, I definitely trained a lot more, really up until COVID hit and gyms were kind of closed for a short period of time. Then I was kinda just doing home workouts as much as I could.
Hmm.
Um, and then it was kinda like season 12 showed up right kind of during that period. So I don't know. I definitely was on more ninja courses than I was for season 11. So I had more time to get to the gyms and get on some of those obstacles. So I felt pretty good going into it. It was just a completely different experience, and I don't
Hmm.
know if that got to my head or if it was just I don't know. I just happened to fall on
Yeah.
a balance obstacle, which is typically what I'm best at, balance, but I don't know. It just happens so fast.
Yeah. No, I mean it happens and like we talk about mindset a ton on the podcast and you can pick at it and try to think of like what could have been in your head but sometimes like your foot just slips or like you don't hit it exactly as you're meaning to or you know what I mean
Yeah,
but
exactly.
yeah but I you applied for season 13.
I did, yep.
Okay, fingers crossed.
So
Yeah.
fingers crossed, we'll see if they'll take me back.
Yeah, absolutely. What would be your hope for season 13 or your goal I should say?
Season 13, my goal would definitely be to make it to finals again, city finals and Las Vegas national finals. Um, since I've done it before, like, I know I can get there, um, and I just wanna come out of last season strong since it was kind of disappointing for me, so I wanna make sure I at least end on a good note here.
No, totally. Yeah, I Totally understand that. Is there anything that you feel like you are doing differently, what like in your mindset as far as not letting season 11 or I'm sorry, season 12 discourage you in that way, but really focusing on moving forward? Like what have you been thinking about?
Yeah, I guess I just think more back to season 11, even College Madness, thinking back to College Madness and season 11, how, like, I kinda just, like, came out of nowhere and did well. So, like, I know I have that in me.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I'm kinda just forgetting about last season just because it was a weird year in general. But yeah, I know my potential, I know what I can do. I've been working hard at it, consistently working out, going to gym, so I think I definitely have what it takes to do
Yeah.
well again, so just gotta get another opportunity to get out there.
Absolutely. And I commend you because it's like you said, you know you have the potential, you know you have the ability. And I think that's what's important to focus on. It's like whatever happened, happened. Like I know I can do this and just
Right.
focus on like what's ahead.
Mhm, exactly.
Have you been doing any other league competitions or like local things?
No, I actually haven't done any of those yet. I don't know why. It's just every time they come up, I feel like I have something else going on. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, just kind of busy person, busy with my jobs and side hustles, so but maybe one of these days I should sign up for one.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I know sometimes I can't speak specifically for Wisconsin, but I've heard like from Janelle and like other people out in the Midwest that sometimes there's just not as many comps, at least for the National Ninja League. Maybe other leagues there's more. So I feel like
Yeah,
here in New Jersey, there's comps like all the time. Like
really,
you can find one almost every weekend if you even if you're willing to drive like at least an hour, you could probably find them. So there's a lot going on,
that's
but
nice.
yeah, some regions like they don't have that as frequently like we do here. So
Okay, do you do them too?
yeah, I've done one National Ninja League comp so far this year. I'm signed up for a few more coming up, but I didn't try as hard in the fall because I just got married.
Oh,
And
congrats.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, we got married in October, so I moved, got married, and like just there was so much going on that I was like Ninja has
Yeah,
to hold up for a second for me. So
okay.
now yeah, now I'm like more focused and back to training regularly and all that. So
Good, that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Do you have any other like goals for this coming year? Or I don't know if you're the kind of person who like thinks about the new year and thinks about goals, but is there anything that you're looking to focus on for this next season?
Well, I definitely wanna make it back on. I wanna be on season 13. I don't know, I guess, like, I don't wanna be hard on myself ever. I wanna know that I'm giving it my all, I'm trying my best, working as hard as I can.
Mhm.
And I think you can't be upset with that when you know that you're giving it everything you have.
No, totally. What about I'm just like spitfire questions now. What about your photography? I seriously love art and photography. I'm
Oh,
actually this blank
really?
space on the wall. I just bought a 72-inch canvas.
Oh
Um
my
so
gosh.
this
Oh,
blank
that's
space is going to be a giant painting.
awesome.
So, yeah, I'd love to hear more about your photography work and just like what inspires you or like what makes you want to take photos?
I feel like I've just always had an eye for it, but then when I started taking pictures of couples, like, it's just something about, like, 2 people and, like, the love they share and just trying to, like, capture those genuine moments, like, I just love every part of that,
Yeah.
and that kinda led into weddings, and now, I mean, I did my first wedding this last summer, the first one by myself, and I just hope to keep growing and getting more opportunities to take wedding pictures and just
Yeah,
see where that takes me.
totally. That's really cool. Do you like to work in a specific type of like style? Like I know the photographer that we had for our wedding was he's like kept telling me to send him sample photos that I liked, and I kept telling like sending him stuff, and he was like, "Okay, so you like this light and airy kind of feel," and I was
Okay.
like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I like."
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, my style's more, like, deep and, romantic, I'd say. So
cool.
not, like, too dark of colors, but definitely, not, like, light and airy, but, yeah, more, um, moody, I'd say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
moody,
Yeah,
sweet.
we'll go with that.
Yeah. So then, where can people find you if they want to book you for anything, or if they just want to know more about, see more of your work and that sort of thing?
So I have a website, tayloraman.com. That's where you can find photography, just like personal things. I have a blog on there that I just started. But yeah, you can fill out a questionnaire on there for photography. Yeah.
Sweet. Um, awesome. Is there anything else like as far as I always like to ask people if they have any like life lessons that are deep in their mind that they like to share, whether it's like ninja related or just like life related. Do you have anything you'd like to say to the ladies out there?
Yeah, I feel like when opportunities present themselves, you should take them. Like, even
Mhm.
if there's something that kind of scares you or seems challenging, or it's intimidating, you should definitely try at
Mhm.
least. Like, you don't want to ever be complacent and just kind of stuck where you are, because you never know where an opportunity might take you.
Mhm. Yeah, I think your example with like Ninja Warrior back in college is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Are there any other times that that seriously was like what you needed in order to like get into something new?
Um, Definitely with pole vaulting too, because I was a gymnast and I was hearing people talk about pole vaulting. I could have easily not tried it, but I just one day decided that I should try it. And that kind of took me to exactly where I needed to be. Um, and then, yeah, got me to Ninja Warrior. And there's just so many doors that open when you take a risk and take a chance on something.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. Sorry. Like
Oh, you're good.
yes, but I totally agree, and I think that's such good advice. Is there anything else you'd like to share or even like show and tell before we go? Because that's what I had for us today.
I think that's good. I think that we
Sweet.
covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Taylor, it's been awesome getting to know you, and it's really cool just hearing more of your story and getting inside your head a little bit. So thanks for coming on and thanks for sharing with us.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. It was nice meeting you too.